You brought up something. You mentioned Commissioner McClelland, and he's been in office since 2018. And some people are critical about some of the moves that he done. But I've been in this space for a little bit, and I like everything he's done. What is your? But you know more about this. You know more about the history than me. What is your assessment over Commissioner McClelland and what he's been able to do or hasn't done since he's been the commissioner of the SWAC?
I think it's dynamic. I've had the fortune to watch Dr. McClelland. I have to be careful because I know him by his first name to some degree, and his nickname in a lot of ways. But the commissioner, if you would, I knew him when he was the athletic director at Prairie View. And I saw him literally take a program that was on an 80-game losing streak, that had a significant basketball leading streak, to ultimately winning back-to-back all-conference trophies.
Hold on. Before an 8-0, 80? You said an 80-game losing streak.
Yeah, and people forget there was also like a 20-game basketball losing streak in there.
Wow. Continue. I just want to make sure I heard that right.
Yeah, I came to give you the space and time to let you know that I lived this literally. I was a freshman when the losing streak started. So I saw them literally win the last game my freshman year before they went on that 80-game win streak. So there's some classmates of mine, fraternity brothers, if you want to talk about it, and other good folks that literally came, if you think about it, the year after that.
And never saw a win.
And they never saw a victory. So there were several classes over that period of time that would go to football games, and we would literally cheer when the team would make a field goal, because that was and we can laugh at it now with it, but at the time,
it was horrible.
And we would celebrate the band, and so that was the culture in terms of us trying to make a win into a literal loss. And so it's big to see him as you get to the point where he leaves and goes to Texas Southern University, builds that, but he leaves a legacy at Prairie View, a winning legacy, where that program still has just come off the fact with several VP athletic directors after him have over the last 2 years won all conference championships. So he starts in a lot of ways. He leaves and then they win under Fred Washington. They win 2 straight, if you would. Then the current Dr. Reed, Donald Reed, in terms of his athletic, they win back to back. So it'll tell you some consistency. Obviously, people focus on football and they have the one championship in that mix, but they've been in the hunt several times, multiple basketball championships, men, women, soccer. Obviously, that's how you get it, volleyball in that time. But he built that. Then he comes over to Texas Southern. And he does, and I would always repeat to him, I said, man, this is intriguing, Charles. You need to take a step back, because I don't think you realize that. You're doing stuff historically at places that have either never been done or haven't been done in such a long time. So Texas Southern had some of its biggest success under his leadership. And then he started putting out, if you would, understudy. Dr. Kevin Granger worked with him, and now he's leading the program, right? You have the athletic director over at Alabama State, to give another example, that worked with him in the commissioner's office as I transfer to that. And so what I've seen is somebody that is a builder, right, in terms of what that looks like. And so I think what he's done is tremendous. Obviously, there's some things that you may say can be done better, or some questions you have. And sometimes we don't have the information in terms of the directions that the president's chancellors may want to go. Some questions they have, some contracts that are already in place that you can't control until they're over with. But you look at that, and the last one is when you talk about the expansion of the conference, to bring in one of the biggest brands out there in athletics at HBCU, some would say in FCS sports, FAMU, that literally won the first 1AA FCS championship in football. I've had some sport championships. You can argue that Bethune-Cookman, when they came in, that they had the best overall athletic program, top to bottom, when you talk about their ability to win in various sports. So you add those brands in there. The new television deal with HBCU Go, as you talked about on your show, and we shared back and forth, the money in terms of that deal that we are hearing related to that puts it in a space that it will be over what the bottom 3 FBS programs are making as a FCS program. The fact that there's even talk that the conference is considered a plan for going FBS as a conference, which is unheard of. You have teams that do it. So the fact that you have presidents and chancellors considering that and looking at doing it as a unit, whether you think it's feasible or not, or you think certain schools can do it or not, the fact that that is even on the table is significant itself. So I think in a lot of ways, when the book is ended and you read that chapter in terms of what he has done in his space, it's going to be historic. It's going to be Hall of Fame worthy. If not now, certainly by the end of that. And I would say that's at all of those institutions. And I do consider him a friend, but I'm just talking about the record.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the facts, what's on the board of that. And anybody knows me, while I won't be ugly about things, but I'll tell folks in a minute, no, you're not there yet. And I'm just laying those things out there in terms of what is taking place. He literally, as I said, saved the SWAC championship game. Two generations of folks. The decision he made and how he did it changed the trajectory of the conference in that manner. That's significant.
Wow.